Today, we're going to take a look at Nest projects, specifically templates and why they're needed. Let's dive in. Some of you may be in a similar situation where when we look at our machine list now, we used to only have just a single laser, and now we have a punch, which are extremely different pieces of equipment. A laser has great maneuverability. It can get into tight places. It has a very small cutting path, whereas a punch, a bit more restrictive. It's dependent upon what the machine capacity can do versus, if it has lots of auto index stations or very few. And then also the tools are much larger than a laser beam. So we can't necessarily start all the time just with a singular template. We want to propel ourselves forward into using Radan in a more user-friendly way. So let's switch over to a punch. Now, I'm going to take a look at the multi-part settings here because in my clearances, notice they're all still stemming from how I launched Radan. And I launched it using the laser format. So obviously my part clearance is going to be much bigger. So I'm going to put it in as 3/4. I'm going to have my sheet gap be 1 inch. And potentially I'm going to have a clamp strip that's much larger if I'm trying to avoid the clamp zone altogether. So we'll put that at 4 inches. My come online cup is going to be similar to what my parting tool width is. So a lot of times it's going to be 1/4 by 3, 1/4 by 4. So I need to set that up. On the automation tab, I don't necessarily need to do automatic tooling. If I was to process with a little bit of automation, this option for choosing an order text be different as well. We would either put that at either punch, or in my case, I'm just going to disable this at the moment. As I get more familiar, since punch is new to me, I could come in here and make changes to my template in the future, but for now, I'm just going to leave it off. And then my output options, where I want this to go, right? In your case, you're going to push this someplace where you're going to keep and store your punch programs. And I'm going to click OK. We also don't want to have anything in our template. This is where we're starting from. So we don't want parts. We'll delete all those. And we don't want any sheets. We'll get rid of all those. Now we have this basically stripped down now to where when we launch the project, we'll select this template to be where we want to grow from. So all that we really have is our part clearances and what we want to do for level automation. And that should be sufficient. From there, we're just going to come up here to File. We're going to save this as a project as a template. And then we'll give it a name. In my case, we're going to call it Amada because that's the punch that I have. And we'll save. Now to test that, we're going to come up here to say File, New Project. Say, no, we don't want to save this. No. On my Amada, my sources now, I have Amada. I'm going to give this, a new funky name. Give it a place to store. Click OK. Now let's see. We don't have any parts. We don't have any sheets. Go in the multi-part nest here. Look, our clearances are as we had it set up. Our automation tab is empty, etc. So there you have it. A quick and easy way to set up a template to be able to start working within Radan on 2 different machines and not have to always be so concerned about double checking or changing your clearances or your level of automation or emptying out a part list. You can start from scratch with a clean slate per machine. Hope you guys like this one. This has been Mike with the Radan guys. We'll see you next time.